It was in my mid-20s that I was exposed to the world of investing and the stock market. As someone who was interested in politics and economics, I found it fascinating how all of this was tied to this market. I was never under the illusion that I could get rich quick, but it seemed like a way to grow my savings. After all, even with low rates of inflation, the interest any bank pays out isn't going to hold the value of your money. And so I realized that if I wasn't investing somewhere, then the value of my savings would be shrinking slowly over time. I had a low-level office job, but it paid enough to allow me to put money aside for investments every month. After trying and failing with some day trading style moves, I decided that it's probably best for me to go after stocks that pay dividends. After all, the value of the stock can go up and it can go down, but as long as I was holding onto it, it was paying out every few months. Since moving to Lithuania, I've made the conscious decision to invest where I live. I'm here to stay, and if I believe that I'll be here for the long term and I believe in the potential of this country, then it only makes sense. So for today's video, I'll share with you what's in my portfolio of Lithuanian investments. I guess I need to first cover my butt legally and tell you that this is obviously not financial advice. I've made money with some of these investments, but I've lost money with others. I'm sharing with you what has worked and what hasn't. But if you're going to be investing, well, of course it's up to you to do more research and not copy the moves of some random YouTuber. First, I'll tell you that my investments in Lithuanian companies are done through SED Bank. I guess you can skip further through the video if you only want to see what's in my portfolio, but I want to share what I've learned about how to invest. So SED Bank isn't a Lithuanian bank per se, but it seems like the two big Swedish banks are the main go-to institutions for banking, even for Lithuanians. Someone recommended them to me when I needed to set up a bank account in Lithuania, and so I've just remained with them ever since. After getting my daily bank account set up, it was quite easy to go into the online banking portal and get started with buying stocks. I learned early on that it was free to trade the stocks of any Baltic companies. This means no commission, no fees, when you're dealing with Lithuanian, Latvian, or Estonian company shares. The other thing I learned quickly is that it takes time to settle any trades. I think 2 business days. So if you execute a trade one day, then the money is reserved for a couple days, and then the transaction isn't finalized until later. I think I know the technical reason behind this, but I don't think it's worth me having to explain it in this video. All I can say is that it was quite different from my online trading account in Canada, where I could sell something instantly and then buy something else with those same funds a few seconds later. At least with my SED Bank experience, you won't be able to make these fast trades, which I suppose discourages reckless and risky day trading for amateurs, I guess. Oh, and then when it comes to buying and selling, well, I haven't really sold anything yet. I've just held on to things. So I can't really share any experiences about paying taxes on these capital gains. As of this year, however, I understand that you can create a separate trading account, and as long as the money stays inside that account, then you can buy and sell without taxation, and then it's only once you withdraw those funds that you'll need to pay tax. But again, I haven't gone through any of this, and so my understanding may not be 100% accurate, and so you should do your own research if you're interested in that part of Lithuania's tax policy. And then the last thing I can tell you about investing through the bank is that dividends are automatically taxed before you get them, at least I think in most cases. So then when it comes time to declare taxes with Lithuania's tax inspectorate, you should see a generated list of dividends that had taxes deducted. I like that. It's easy and painless. And so what's in my portfolio? Well, continuing with my eye on dividend stocks, I've tried to find companies that offer a decent dividend yield in industries that could be considered fairly stable. Energy and banking seem to be the two big ones for me, since I hold shares of Ignitis Group and Šiaulių Bankas. Both companies are profitable and have paid out dividends regularly. 2 more energy companies that I've purchased shares of are Kauno Energia and Estonia's Enefit Green. And I'll tell you that the decision to buy shares of these 2 companies has not paid off, at least not yet. I'm actually just hoping that they go up enough that I can either break even or not lose too much money. And then Grigeo, the paper company, is another one I hold shares of. I only later found out that they had been accused of polluting the Curonian Lagoon. Financially speaking, however, their shares have gone up since I purchased them, and I've collected a little in dividends. I do hope that their environmental pollution days are over. And then one of my most recent investments was in Lithuanian Piano. They seem to have paid dividends regularly, and they make products that are pretty much household names among Lithuanians, giving them a pretty solid grip on the market. And finally, the last company I have to mention is like Enefit Green in that it's also Estonian. Yeah, I know the title of this video is about Lithuanian investments, but I think there are a lot of connections between Lithuania and the companies in the other Baltic countries. Anyways, this other Estonian company is called Infortar, and they claim to be Estonia's largest investment company. They have holdings in maritime transport, commercial real estate, and energy, and so they seem to be quite well diversified. Big, stable, and paying out dividends, well, they checked all the right boxes for me. When it comes to payout, the one big difference I've noticed between investing in Canadian companies and funds compared to the ones in this region is that dividends are only paid out once or at most twice per year. I guess this encourages retail investors to hold on for longer and reduces volatility in some way. But I much prefer when companies or ETFs pay out dividends monthly, because it allows me to reinvest more often, and that compounding snowball effect is faster. But well, it is what it is. I have a feeling that some people watching this who really know a lot about investing are gonna tell me that I made all the wrong moves, but I guess for that possibility. Anyways, if you consider yourself a retail investor in this part of the world, I'd love to hear what you think is worth investing in. Do leave a comment to let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.